My best guess for how this will manifest is that prices will drop.
Elon Musk believes that in an age of advanced artificial intelligence, almost everything could eventually become virtually free. Digital products are fundamentally different from physical goods. Once the code is written, the cost of producing one more copy is almost zero. And in the age of AI, even the cost of writing that code is collapsing. What used to require teams of engineers can now be generated with a prompt. This isn't a future scenario, it's already happening. AI tools that just a year ago cost $20 per month now exist in free versions. The lower tier models become free, and the paid tier simply shifts to a more capable system. The nominal price may stay the same, but the capability you receive increases dramatically. In real terms, that's a price decline, sometimes by 80 or even 90% in just a few years. We've seen this pattern before. In the early 1990s, professional design software like Photoshop cost hundreds of dollars upfront and offered a fraction of today's functionality. Today, even a free tool like Canva Basic can do more than early versions of Photoshop, and it's accessible instantly from a browser. The price didn't just fall, the capability per dollar exploded, and by 2039, this dynamic accelerates. Tools that today feel extraordinary, AI systems capable of generating an entire film from a single prompt, will likely be widely accessible at little to no cost. Not because companies are charitable, but because digital supply explodes. And when supply explodes, prices compress.
Consumer electronics, it's the same, right? The direction we've been seeing in the 2020s will continue here in the 2030s. And I definitely think that consumer electronics will fall by another 50% in the next 10 years.
Some prices in the 2030s will not drift down, they will collapse. To understand why, we need to start with something very simple: Moore's law. For decades, computing power roughly doubled every 18 to 24 months. In practical terms, that means the cost of a fixed amount of compute fell by about 30 to 40% per year. Over 13 years, that compounds to roughly a 97 to 99% decline in cost per unit of compute. Now here's the important part. AI inference has recently improved even faster than Moore's law. Between 2022 and 2024, the cost of running GPT-3 level models fell by more than 99%. From 2024 through 2026, effective cost per useful output continued declining as hardware improved, models became more efficient, and competition intensified. So if AI inference merely follows Moore's law from here, say 35% improvement per dollar per year, that implies roughly a 99% additional decline in cost per unit of capability by 2039. That's not speculation, that's compound math. Now translate that into something tangible. Today, generating a high-quality AI video clip consumes real compute and subscription limits. By the late 2000s and 30s, the same nominal cost could generate hours of comparable or superior output, not because everything becomes free, but because cost per finished result collapses. And we've already seen this pattern before. Take smartphones. The iPhone X, released in 2017, used the A11 chip, delivering roughly 600 gigaflops of compute. The 17 Pro exceeds 3 teraflops. That's more than a 5-fold increase in raw processing power in under a decade. If you hold price constant and increase capability 5-fold, the implied price per unit of performance has fallen by roughly 80%. But it doesn't feel 80% cheaper, because quality increases mass price deflation. The same is true for televisions. Quality-adjusted TV prices have declined roughly 10 to 14% per year for decades. By 2039, TVs are likely to fall another 75% in price compared to today, and that before factoring in resolution, brightness, energy efficiency, and smart capabilities. Now consider wearables. An Oura Ring today costs roughly $300 to $400. It tracks sleep, heart rate, and some biometrics. By 2039, if sensor costs follow electronics trends, say 50 to 70% lower hardware cost, and AI capability follows a more like trajectory, the device may not just be cheaper. It may provide continuous predictive health modeling instead of passive tracking. Even if the sticker price only falls 50%, the cost per unit of health insight could fall 80 or 90%. That is the pattern. In electronics and AI-heavy categories, nominal prices may not collapse to zero, but price per unit of capability is likely to fall 50, 75, even 95% in some domains. That is where the real price shock of the 2030s will occur.